Hi, I'm Supermoon Tarot, and in today's video, I'm talking to Gemini. Hi, Geminis. It's your season. Are you guys just thriving, having a good time? If you're not, what are you doing? Take advantage of this energy. Just take a nap, eat a snack. I don't know where I'm going with this, but this is a time to truly thrive in your beautiful, dualistic Gemini nature. Now, the way we're going to be doing this reading is half of the video is going to be talking about you and your current energies and the story behind that, and the other half is going to be about you and another person and those energies and that story behind that. This is primarily for sun signs, but of course, moon and rising signs are welcomed. As long as the message resonates, that's all that matters. So let's first look at the energies behind you. I already shuffled the cards because I take a long time to shuffle. Oh, I love Gentle Gardener. It's like just time-tested. One of the, grab my other cards. Okay. My favorite lessons. Ooh, Diamond. Okay. These are two great cards to get. Okay, I'm really excited for you. So Gentle Gardener this is great because this is not a criticism at what you're doing now, but just something to keep in mind. And personally, I'm being told by Spirit that this is something that you need to work on for the majority of your life. Not as in you won't get it, but you know how everybody has something that they come back to and it's the thing they keep in check? This is the thing for you to keep in check. So anyways, back to this oracle card. Gentle Gardener is somebody who's aware that their thoughts and the words they speak have, are like planting seeds in a garden. And what you say and you think has long-term benefits or, negativity, so to speak. But we're not talking about negativity here. This is saying that if you want the things to happen, be really conscious of what you're saying. Like, put it out there, like make an effort. But also, is there a way you're subtly putting yourself down and implying that you won't get it? A great thing I heard the other day is instead of saying, I don't know, say, I'm figuring it out. Think of those little words and phrases. Every time you say them, are you very slightly putting yourself down? Because this is like a superpower for you, because of how stimulated your brain can be, the more you foster this and create an air of positivity and view every opportunity to speak well of yourself and others and your future, the more you're basically building up a really awesome garden. More fertile soil, more land to tend to, more interesting, unique flowers, and before you know it's going to bloom big and crazy and be impenetrable to any sort of storm or ailments or pests or anything like that. So this is something to consider. And this is also something to keep in mind when we have the Diamond. I think this is very interesting that you got this popping up. So this talks about that when you are manifesting everything you want to create, you want to be in that mindset. Both of these cards talk about that idea. It's like that seems to be your mindset right now. You want to bring something to life. You want to be in alignment with the universe. And right now, how you can practice being in alignment is by practicing love. Right now, this card indicates you have extra sway over giving love to people. Like when you give it, they feel it that much more. And this also means about giving it to people that you feel don't deserve it. It's about backing away when someone does something to hurt you or be rude to you and kind of coming from your highest self. So like imagine someone cuts you off in traffic and saying to yourself, maybe they're late for work. And accepting that and sending them love. And again, when we talk about the idea of the Gentle Gardener and practicing those type of thoughts, the more you're spreading out love, that's what you're getting back. It's really beautiful. But let's get a little more detailed with the stories here because I think this is just really great practical guidance going on here. So, okay, got a Gemini right there. Oh, Interesting. Okay, I can see why you were being told about the gentle gardener now. It's kind of like the reassurance you need to hear at this moment. So first, let's talk about the Hermit card and the Eight of Swords popping up. This is what you feel like you're drawn to do, and you're basically being told by the universe of like, you don't need to do that anymore. Stop doing that. You're good. You're good to go. The Hermit shows you feeling like you still need to do more work on the inside. You need to sit, you need to journal more, you need to meditate more. You're not ready. But this is only coming from the Eight of Swords. So the Eight of Swords is actually a card I kind of love. It's like my shadow self-love, because this is when you feel like you're unable to move forward because you feel like you have a bunch of obstacles in your way. However, this card represents self-limiting obstacles, obstacles you put in your way. So let's say a person was bothering you and you felt like you couldn't truly be yourself. They only had as much, if this card pops up, this basically says they only have as much power as you give them. Once you take away their power and you say, nope, you're not an obstacle in my way anymore, they're not a problem. Even if they try to bother you, it will slowly disintegrate because you took it away, essentially. So you're somehow setting up some sort of parameter to how happy or how successful, or in this case, it's this feeling of I'm not ready yet. I need to accomplish X, Y, and Z. I'm getting kind of, it's interesting I didn't get the Magician's card in reverse. This would kind of come from an imposter syndrome mentality I want to keep in mind. And imposter syndrome can come up in an assortment of ways, but it's somebody who just feels like they're faking it. They're not good enough. Even though people, and then what's so sad about this is imposter syndrome usually pops up when people are enough and are talented and doing a good enough job, and their peers believe that, but they themselves don't. So then they just think, oh my goodness, I'm tricking everyone. I don't know why anyone thinks this about me. I wish I believed in this the way other people see this in me. It's an awful place to be. In this case, the universe is saying, stop doing that. The feeling of not being ready, you're putting it there. You're ready. Go. Give some love to your, thoughts so you can kind of go out there and work on your garden. You think you need to go read some more books about herbology? No more. You're ready to go. And just send out some love to yourself, send some love out to other people, to the universe. Go. Time to get into action. Especially when we have the Four of Wands in reverse. I can see where the self-limiting beliefs come in when you feel like you don't have a support system around you. Now, for some of you, this can be literally there's people around you and they're making it clear they don't support you. I'm getting more of a vibe that you're just alone. And it's not that people aren't supporting you, it's just you don't have people around you to support or not support. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like this feeling of like you don't have a crew lifting you up when you feel like you're in your head too much. So what happens? You get in your head more. But this card lovingly says, listen, the success that you want to have is totally obtainable, but you have to put in the work yourself and be proactive. You got to get your hands dirty. You got to get out there. You can't just wait for it to happen. It's saying it's going to happen, but you have to make the effort. So it's okay if you go out into the world and you don't feel quite ready. These are the things that you're going to practice and kind of act as your, shield and your support system to not only help you bring the things you want into your life, potentially that support system you're looking for, but also when you're confused and lost, being like, well, what do I need to do? What's the thing I need to do moving forward in order to attract the life I want, the feelings I want? That's something that keeps predominantly coming up, this sense of feelings. It's like, I could say it's a belief system. It's like we're getting swords, like we're really in the mind. I know there's wands going on here, but I keep being drawn to the swords. It's like you're really in your head. So that's just, we'll come back to that if that pops up again, but that's something I'm really being called to. Now, the Tower card. This is something that's really interesting popping up. A lot of people view this as a negative card. Not at all. Not a negative card. In fact, this is something you've been wanting for a long time. The Tower card just represents a dramatic change in your daily schedule. So, if you got a new romantic partner, that would be a dramatic change in your life. You wouldn't be spending it the same way you would if you were alone and trying to find something to do because you were bored. You see what I'm saying? But in this case, it's like you want this huge shift from what's going on over there. So you're trying to make it happen. And this is what's so interesting. There's a lot of effort being put in, and you know that, but it's not being put in the right way. So over here, it's like you're way too in your mind, way too analytical. It's a lot of like running around, with like the phrase where like your head is gone. I can't think of the phrase, the metaphor. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you've done enough. Over here, when we have the Nine of Wands, it shows you putting in a lot of effort. You have the passion, you want this change, you want this shift. But it's like, again, when this card pops up, it's showing that you're trying too hard. You're forcing it. And you need to kind of back up a little bit and let the universe happen. Now, I'm sure for a Gemini, you're like, wait a minute. Work hard, don't work hard, I'm confused. In some ways, you're not putting in the right kind of effort. We talked about the type of effort you need to make. And in other ways, it's like you want this shift and change, so you're trying, but the way you're trying, you're forcing it, and you're forcing yourself to fit in a puzzle piece in a certain way when it's like, we're not talking about puzzle pieces. We're talking about crosswords. What are you doing? Does this make sense? I don't know if these metaphors are lost. All you need to know is, while you're working on these things, let them be effortless. Sit back. Don't ask when it's going to happen. Don't force yourself to be like, I just want this change to happen. Just know it's going to happen. See it as kind of like a package coming your way. And then you just need to sit back and trust the universe has got your back. But it's not about sitting back completely and not doing anything. The effort you need to make is by practicing living life and picking the type of thoughts and words that you want to therefore attract more in your life, and practicing love to even people that are suffering. In fact, actually, I'm being told by Spirit that when you love somebody that is suffering and isn't kind to you, and you're easily swaying them, this is going to be the type of distraction you needed to get out of your own head. It's almost like a metaphor of like you loving that version of yourself you were struggling to connect with before and give that sort of patience and kindness to before. So interesting. I love that. So let's now, what cards do I want to do? I want to do these. Okay. Now let's talk about this person we're connecting to in your life. Oh, interesting. This is super interesting. This could go a couple different ways. The kind of classic way you would read this is when we have Judgment card in reverse, this is the feeling of you're ready to move to this next level. This could be the next level of the relationship. And it's this sense of closeness and being with them, but you have to finish completely and fulfill and end whatever it is that's holding you back from then moving on to the new thing. So this could be an idea, this could be a previous crush, it could be a couple things. Whatever it is, it's about saying to yourself in the universe or this other person saying, I'm done with this other person, I'm ready now to move on with this other person. So it's less about this person's interaction with you, it's more about how you're interacting with them. The Seven of Cups, though, in reverse is interesting. Both of these cards kind of give a vibe of like remorse, like you're still holding on to something and it needs to be completed in order to move forward. But the Seven of Cups could imply other romantic partners that, caught your eye and you're thinking, oh my goodness, I don't know if I want to be only with one person. But I'm getting way more of a vibe of it's like you're still hung up and distracted by just general emotion ideas. Remember we talked about the cups before? It's like something in your emotions you're sorting out, and it's distracting you so much that it's taking you away from just being fully present in the relationship and fully present within yourself to be there in the relationship. So let's pull some more cards to get some specifics. I mean, I could be wrong, but okay. Okay, I'm being told 3. That's interesting. Okay. 3 it is. Yes. Okay, so I have some great news, but some things to consider. So I'm being seen in your relationship. Everything's great. Like, this other person is awesome. This person you're currently with, they're great for you. They've really got your back. They're actually totally the perfect person to help you with these emotional situations. When we have the King of Cups, this is someone who can handle pretty intricate emotional problems and not be totally sucked in or burdened by them. And in fact is able to see it from like a wider perspective and kind of be a devil's advocate and help you sort through them, because they're not either just trying to hear you out or it's like they can empathize and sympathize with you, if that makes sense. So they can see all sides. So they seem pretty emotionally intelligent and in the right place in their life in order to help you. And they appear like they really are going out of their way to be like, yep, I'm here for you. If you want that, I'm ready to go. The Magician card can say two other things. It's overall the positive omen around this general relationship. Like, this relationship is magic. But it can talk about either your partner being somebody who's really skilled and intelligent and savvy, or it could give you more credit than you're giving yourself. This is why the universe was saying stop being self-analytical and thinking you need to do more journaling and inner work and you're not ready yet. You are ready. Go. This is kind of like a loving notion of like, you might not think that you're ready, but you're being confirmed. Yeah, you totally are. You're good to go. The Magician is able to make anything happen in their life manifestation-wise. They're incredibly powerful because they need no more, no less. They understand everything. They are able to craft with their hands. They're passionate and know what they're doing. They're in control of their mind. They're connected to the universe. There's a lot more magical stuff going on inside you, but you're just not allowing yourself to thrive, essentially. But here's the Queen of Pentacles. When we talk about that distraction, notice how she's not looking at another person. She's looking at the pentacles representing belief system. It's like she just is so enraptured by this. She can't look away. It's so important to her. She understands. You could even view it as a seed for the whole gentle gardener. She's so aware. She wants to get it perfect. She wants to make it right. And it's just taking up her. And there's a lot of good intentions behind this. This is somebody who understands the long-term benefits of what they're kind of like, what you reap is what you sow, so to speak. But she's distracted, and she's not even turning around and realizing the help she needs to get out of this tunnel vision is right there all along. So overall, like, you're moving in a really positive direction with this current relationship. This is a great person to have in your life. You're doing way better than you're giving yourself credit for, but don't let your emotions and all this work you think you need to do cloud you from all the good stuff already happening, if that makes sense. Consider this, like, even people, I was actually reading this really good book about a person who was like 90 years old, and he was a Siberian shaman, and so he has like a lot of spiritual practice, and even he still felt like he was a baby when it came to all of this spiritual stuff, even though that was like his entire livelihood. You know what I mean? Like, you're always going to be healing and growing and finding more that you need to work on. So you don't need to put your life on pause to be perfect. Or I'm sure, I don't get the vibe that you need to be perfect, but you just feel off. The solution to overcoming this off feeling is just that, is living life and practicing the things we discussed before. And I'm happy to report you have a pretty great partner around you. And remember, this can involve friendship too. I'm just putting that out there. Keep in mind. I'm picking up a heavier romantic thing, but it can still be friendship nonetheless. But anyways, they're great. They're there. They're ready to grow and thrive with you and help you connect the dots where you feel like you've been stuck for a while. So don't be afraid to share and open up with them. And also, like, take advantage of this manifesting power. You've got it, Anyways, I hope you have a lovely day and you enjoyed this reading. If you did, consider giving it a like, comment, and subscribe. It helps out the channel like you would not believe. Again, have a lovely day. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!